Welcome everyone to the meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please. Here.
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 As always, we'll have our invocation by our spiritual advisor, Mr. Guy. Miigwech, Jean. Thank you. Approval of the agenda.
We have 4 additions. One, underneath Joel Astleford, we'd like to add the 2019 through 2021 Tribal Transportation Improvement Plan. Underneath other at the end, Louise has a request for additional funds for the elders' Christmas dinner. There's a request from Fortune Bay to approve. We need a motion to approve a financing for improvement projects. And third, we'd like to add under other Sidra Starkovich with a request to purchase a brand new dishwasher for the EMP in Nett Lake here.
For motion to approve the agenda with those additions.
Move.
By Chief. Is there a second? By Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent? Motion carried. Approval of minutes from the Tribal Council meeting held in Lake Vermilion on December 5th, 2018.
I have, excuse me, I have something I need to change on page 3.
Okay.
If you look down, probably the 3rd paragraph at the bottom, toward the bottom, it says moved by Dave Morrison Senior, seconded by Peter Boney to adopt resolution 36-2019, modification to Larry D. Milbridge, Anita Lynn Milbridge, and Sharon Ann Milbridge, residential lease, to add lot 5 to the lease and to revisit the size of the lots and leases. It says carried 1, or it says carried 3-1-0, Shane Drift against because he feels lot should have been offered to the next person on a waiting list. Actually, I was against it not because of who the people are. I was against it because we have 26 other people on a waiting list. That's why I was against it. And I would like the record to reflect that.
At the, you just wanted, you're against it because you feel that there were others on the waiting list that it should have been offered to?
Yes.
If not, I'll call for a motion to approve with those changes. December 5th meeting. Moved by David. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Silent? Motion carried. Introduction of new staff.
Well, first of all, I'd like to introduce Teresa Drift, our new housing director.
Teresa Morrison.
Teresa Morrison. My fault. Sorry. Teresa Morrison. Sorry. Our new housing director. So, if you want to say a few words.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's Teresa Morrison, not Teresa Drift, but Teresa Drift of the housing manager. Thank you.
Good morning. I have Darnell Goggle-Eye, the new IT specialist.
Good morning. We have three new staff to introduce for accounting. We have Darren Dunkley, program accountant. He's here to help us catch up. Adrian Whiteman, she's the payroll clerk, and Josh Strong, the accounting clerk. I get the names mixed up of the positions. So welcome. I think they're all going to be a great addition.
Darren? Or Joshy?
He doesn't want to shake her hand. As the housing director and rather new at this, for fifth day working, I'd like to introduce Jim Morrison. He's our housing tech, a new housing tech 1.
Good morning. We have Danelle Porter. She's our new human resources specialist. She started on December 10th, and she came from Fortune Bay, where she has a lot of experience as a supervisor, customer service, a lot of the hiring and human resources functions. So we're excited to have her on board.
Good morning. This morning I wanted to introduce our one of our new police officers, Mika. You want to bring her up, Corey? Yeah. This is Mika, our new police officer. She's still yeah, she's still in training.
Still got
Maybe we can get you a saddle, you can ride it.
Search, rescue, apprehension. Yep, thank you. Coming in. You betcha.
I got a question regarding the dog. So it is an officer. Okay, good. Just want to make that point. Yep.
Okay, if everybody couldn't hear me because I wasn't on the mic, that was Officer Mika, our drug search and rescue and apprehension dog for Bois Forte. It's for the Tribal Police Officer Program. And he will stay with Corey King, our other tribal police officer, for his whole tenure as an officer. So we're very pleased on that. And Corey and Mika have both, and Corey and Mika have both been to training, and she is still in training, so as you can tell. But we welcome them both. Okay, next on the agenda, we have the consent agenda. I want to welcome everybody. I think that was our largest new introductions we've had in quite a while, and it's nice to see some new faces and tribal members and everybody working here and pitching in. That's wonderful. Next is our consent agenda. Approved Resolution 39-2019, limited waiver of immunity for Fortune Bay Resort Casino to purchase water softener. I will read that part. The resolution, whereas the Bois Forte Band of the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe is a federally recognized Indian tribe organized under the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934 and operating under the revised Constitution and bylaws of the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe. And whereas the Bois Forte Reservation Tribal Council is a lawful governing body of the band and is authorized by Article 3, Section 1C of the revised Constitution and bylaws of the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe to negotiate and enter into contracts with public and private entities. And whereas the the band has constructed Fortune Bay Resort Casino, a public gaming and hotel facility on the Lake Vermilion Indian Reservation, and desires to enter into a lease contract with the Bankers Bank Community Leasing Services Incorporated for the purpose of supplying water softener equipment. And now therefore be it resolved that the Bois Forte Reservation Tribal Council hereby waives the sovereign immunity of the band for all purposes at law and in equity, and for such relief as may be necessary to enforce the agreement. And be it further resolved that the Bois Forte Reservation Tribal Council consents to the jurisdiction of federal, state, and tribal courts to resolve disputes arising under the agreement and to enforce a judgment in any court of competent jurisdiction, including the Federal District Court in Minnesota, the Bois Forte Tribal Court, and the courts of the state of Minnesota. Be it finally resolved that the chairman and secretary treasurer are hereby authorized to execute and deliver the agreement, which reflects the foregoing waiver and consent to suit. That, do we have a motion to approve that consent agenda item?
Actually, I have a question regarding it. How much is it for the purpose of supplying water softener equipment? How much is that?
I do not have an answer for you on that.
No answer.
That would have to be an answer from Fortune Bay, so we can give Fortune Bay a call later.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Sorry. Moved by Chief. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Travis. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent? Motion carried. Joel?
First on the agenda, we have Joel.
Good morning, Joel.
Morning, Joe.
Thank you. Joel, with some of these projects now, where does the funding come from? Okay. Are there any, at times, and these are just general questions, at times is there additional funding? Oh, turn your mic on. Thank you. Is there additional funding that comes down through the Bureau at times for, like say if you have only enough money to last for a few roads, but on this plan you have like, let's say 5 roads got funded and you had 7 roads that were in your plan, do you get any additional monies through the Bureau at all?
Not unless we get something similar to the ARA projects.
Okay, and that's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can carry these over till, like, if you didn't do them in 19, they go to 20?
Yeah, when, in 2012, we did 12 and 13, we did probably over close to $3 million worth of road work in Vermillion.
Wow.
So that kind of depleted that fund, so now I'm in the process of doing smaller jobs and saving up at the same time to
Okay.
do
Good.
more, so.
What exactly are your lift station pumps? What exactly are
Oh,
those?
that'll be
That's
after
next.
this.
What do they do?
Oh, the lift stations for the sewage,
Okay, okay.
yeah, because we're in so much ledge rock around, actually all of Bois, Forte, Nett Lake, and Vermillion, we have to put in lift stations because you can't channel through all that ledge rock to put a gravity sewer pipe in. So we have astronomical amounts of lift stations. There's probably, I believe we're up to 62 lift stations right now. Each lift station has 2 pumps. So the
Okay.
chances of failure are really high on any given day, so.
Any questions on the 2019-2021 Transportation Improvement Plan? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve. Moved by David, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trav, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried.
Thank you. And next thing I have would be the sole source for the lift station pumps. We basically use 4 manufacturers. Each manufacturer only picks one contractor per state for each manufacturer, so we're kind of stuck with who we can go with. You can't really get more than one quote on a certain type of pump, so this is kind of a yearly thing I do every year for the pumps.
Joel, just as a, what does one pump cost, and how many are we replacing on average each year? Just estimate.
Okay, well, the average price of a pump that we use is between $6,000 and $8,000 a piece. The main pumps at the bottom of the hill at Fortune Bay are $15,000 a piece. And we probably replace maybe on an average 6 to 8 pumps a year.
And this funding for these pumps comes out of your water and sand budget?
Correct.
And that's the water collection budget?
Yes.
Okay.
Joel, do we have any of the pumps, the current pumps that we're having problems with? Because I noticed that one on the bottom of the hill there by Kathy Thompson, that little red light's always on. It seems like it always comes on a weekend.
I know, that's when I get the call. To be honest with you, that pump hasn't been replaced in a while, but the biggest issue is people were using flushable wipes, and those plug up pumps. Flushable wipes aren't flushable, and they plug up pumps. So every time that light comes on, usually means the pump is plugged, so then we go down and pull the whole pump apart and get the wipe out of there, but
Kind of wonder if we should put out a notice regarding that, don't flush these certain things down at well.
That's a good idea. You know, maybe we can get something out to the homeowners, all the homeowners in Nett Lake and Vermillion with regards to, issues that we have with regards to the pumps and
yep. And
apparently we didn't know flushable wipes are not flushable, so.
when we have problems in certain neighborhoods, we'll actually go door to door and let them
Okay.
know, because we can narrow it down to where it came from.
Okay.
And also in Vermillion, we're having a big problem there, but we did send out flyers over there, so.
Good.
I was just gonna say, maybe maybe we could include that on their monthly bill, water bill, some little.
I just didn't want to give anybody any ideas.
Oh.
If you know what I mean. Because some of the things don't ask me how they get them down there, but we're pulling full mop heads out of pumps.
Oh.
I don't know how they get it down a toilet, but it happens. So, and when we warn people about it, a lot of times we see more of it if it's deliberate.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
People may be mad at the system or mad
Yeah.
at whoever. Okay. Well, I'm sorry you have those problems. Anyway, do we have a motion to approve the sole source request for lift station pumps with, which one, Joel? Either with the
All
four
of them, Four
manufacturers?
manufacturers,
Okay.
correct.
KSB Quality Flow, Myers Tri-State Pump, Gorman Roop General Repair, and FLYGT Electric Pump. Do you have a motion to approve that?
Move.
Oh,
Second.
moved by Travis, seconded by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent? Motion carried. Keep up the good work, Joel. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Jenny with a MNDOT special solicitation.
Morning, Jenny.
Purchase for replacement buses.
Good morning.
Good morning.
MNDOT has come up with a very short notice, a special solicitation opportunity for replacement buses. And we have two that we need to replace. The original E&P pink buses, that's the last gasp on that one, although
Yeah.
it does still run. And the first bus that the program purchased will have over 300,000 miles on that by the end of the winter. So we're putting those two up for replacement. It requires a 20% match, and I've worked with Andy, and we have, I don't know if I'm gonna get this grant, but if I do, and I get two buses, and they project that buses will cost $83,000 each in 2019, that's just over $33,000 match. So, planning department's also applying for ICDGB grant, and they've already budgeted the match on that, so I could probably put the touch on that if they're not successful on their grant application. You never know if you're gonna get it or not. They
Right.
also had a second, special offering for facilities, also up to 1.25 million. And they also required a 20% match, and on short notice, that wasn't something that we could produce, but it is worthy of a mention that transportation is a focus with the federal government right now, and also with
Yes.
MNDOT, and that's something that maybe we should be thinking about in the future.
I guess I just have a suggestion. I'm wondering, and I know everybody's really busy, but is there a possibility of coming up with a facilities plan ahead of time? So if something like this happens again, that we'd be ready to submit ASAP, come up with a facilities plan?
I could work on that, yes.
Okay, great.
Definitely. So what the grant application for the replacement vehicles requires is a resolution from the council that we will find the 20% match if I'm successful in the application.
Okay. Jenny, do you know when this grant would be awarded? Is there a timeline on it?
The timeline is to my project manager, January 1st. She'll submit it to the state by the 15th, and I believe they'll make a decision by the end of January.
Oh,
That's
wow.
their timeline.
That's fast.
That is fast, and it just came out, so it's been a quick turnaround.
Good, good. Any questions for Jenny?
Well, this will replace the older buses?
Yes, it's for replacement only, so we're replacing those two original buses.
It'll just go away, or?
The bus
No,
graveyard?
I ran them right into the ground.
The bus graveyard?
The bus graveyard. We're gonna have to do something with the pink bus, just because it has enough mechanical issues that it's not going to be adequate for public safety. I mean, public transit. The other bus, it's still going.
Oh, okay. Kim?
On the,
I'm sorry.
if you get awarded it, when does the money have to be spent? Because we don't have the money budgeted for a match for the fiscal year 2019. In the ICDB grant, remember, we didn't
Yep.
budget that either.
Oh, okay. Well, I will.
I'm just asking, because if it's a timeline.
The process is long. You have to do a full procurement And then when you order the vehicles, it takes another 3 months after that to have it
But
come
would
in,
it,
so.
I mean, if we purchase After October 1, or does it have to be spent
Could.
before October 1?
Yeah, I think they're
That's
flexible. I think they're
okay.
flexible on that.
Something to consider.
Okay, thank you, Kim.
Well, that's what I was kind of getting at there when I'm reading this, the last paragraph on the second page or under the memo.
Yes?
Funding options have been identified. If the whole ICBG match budgeted is not used, or if there are enough funds in the transit revenue account, these could be used as the MNDOT match for the capital purchases. So meaning that, what happens if if there's not enough revenue in this account, then what?
Well, I could approach other funding sources. Otto Bremer has been very generous with the transit program, and they like a situation where their money will leverage a larger portion instead of just a straight grant. So they're good that way. There's other options. Andy says that, you know, we'll stay on it and we'll work on it.
Okay, thank you.
Because I hate to turn it down.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Jenny. Any
All
other
right.
questions for Jenny? If not, I'll call for a motion on the resolution, MNDOT special solicitation, notice of funding opportunity for purchase of replacement buses. There's a resolution to apply for the 2 replacement buses. Moved by David, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Shane. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent? Motion carried.
All right, thank you
Good
very
luck.
much.
Thank you.
First on the, underneath my section is a donation request that came into the RTC this week, requesting financial assistance. The Virginia School is gonna be hosting the Winter Indigenous Games, February 2019. They're requesting $2,500 for the event.
They're looking for sponsors. I see it. They have a total budget of $8,000 is needed. Anticipating 300 participants coming from across the range. What is the donation budget?
I would think there'd be money in there, just because we haven't spent a whole lot yet this quarter.
Any comments?
And normally, if we would go through like donation committee and stuff, I was just talking with Sidra, most of the time, we recommend probably like $1,000 or so for bigger events like this, but
Okay.
since it comes directly to the council, you know, it's up to you guys to decide what you guys normally would.
Do we have money in the budget for this?
Corey says there's money in the
There is money in
donations.
the donation budget, it's just that, normally, like this year, the total amount of donations is 15,000. And normally what the donation committee does is they break it up into 3 quarters. So, and try to spend within that, within each quarter, try to spend that amount.
And there's currently about 200 and some students, native students in Virginia school district, right? Correct?
Yeah, I think there's something like that. I know when we had that meeting, they said there was a good amount of native students there. And generally, the donation line item doesn't, we don't expend that to 100% either, you know, because when
We
they do
carry
break
it
it up.
over each year, whatever's
Yeah, 'cause
left.
I think like this year, they decided we'd go 3,750 per quarter. Like I said, I don't even think
So you,
we've got even gone that close, so if we've gone over a little bit this quarter, you know, I'm sure they'd make adjustments for the next quarter. There's money there.
what would the council like to do here?
Chief, you said there's about 200 native
Mhm.
Did they approach Fortune Bay too?
I think, I did receive an email from, Teresa, Knife Chief, and I let her know that, they were requesting possibly, a walleye, you know, like they
Oh.
normally do that walleye dinner when they have that, trailer that they
Yeah,
that they take around. And, so I directed her to Brian Anderson at Fortune Bay, and I said, so, you know, give them a letter and see what they could do, and how many meals are they looking for?
So they're looking for like the food donation, it sounds
Yeah,
like.
food
with
donation from Fortune Bay.
But some of the things that this would be funding is consultant fees, student awards, and participant T-shirts. It says dinner, but it sounds like they're looking at Fortune Bay for that. But that's for the whole budget of 8,000. Oops.
They're either,
We can
they're
hear
either
our, we
doing
can
a
hear our
demo
dog
or.
barking, for those that don't know. We don't know if he's got a hit out there or what, but
The dog is hollering, you're under arrest.
does the council want to fund the whole thing, a portion, or it's up to you guys? I think it's a good event. What we're trying to do is, and I know that the council attended one of the parent committee meetings, some of the council members, and actually, we're going to be having an in-service on Martin Luther King Day at the Virginia school with regards to Tad Johnson coming in, and Shane is offering his services too to educate the teachers on the Native American history and culture. So we're trying to do a lot of cultural education and history with the Virginia School District, so, because we do have a large population there. What are you guys thinking for a donation for? I think we should donate. I'm not sure about the amount.
I think we should just go with this, the 25. And, you know, it'd be a one-time thing for this, for that district, you know.
Yeah, I think we should donate something. If we can't do it all, maybe we can donate at least something.
Okay. What amount? It's up to you guys.
2,500, okay?
Okay.
The motion's made.
I guess, Chief, you're making a motion?
Yeah.
Motion made by Chief to donate 2,500 to the Virginia Winter Indigenous Games to be held at the Virginia School District on February 2nd, 2019. And that's a Saturday. Is there a second?
I will second it, as long as we have it in the budget.
Okay, seconded by Shane, as long as it's in the budget. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried.
Okay, next underneath, other here, we have Louise with the Elders Holiday Dinner request.
Oh, he's still barking.
Yeah, is Louise even in here? Maybe they're using her as the demonstration, I don't know. Well, anyway, the request came in, and I know that they originally had it under their budget, and within their budget, that a number of the programs that put together their funds to cover the elder dinner. But then, we figured that was based on 100 employees, so they wanted to do, or 100 elders, so they wanted to increase that amount. And so with that came added expenses for the food, so they're requesting an additional $1,011.25 to cover the food costs.
Gonna get walleye?
Oh,
Not even Ridley.
that's what it is, walleye. Walleye or sauger.
I know she did, there was a little complaint about the last time at Fortune Bay. They ordered turkey, chicken.
That was
we
for
get
the staff
walleye.
Christmas party, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a fried walleye dinner.
Move as long as we get walleye.
motion to approve the Elders Christmas Dinner additional funding of $1,011.25 made by Trav, as long as he gets walleye.
Second.
Seconded by Chief. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. And this dinner is tomorrow,
Tomorrow, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Or at least the festivities start at 10, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
dinner will be
festivities
11.
start at 10, okay.
Next, we have a request from Rick Anderson and Fortune Bay. They need a motion to approve the RTC. The RTC authorizes Fortune Bay Management to pursue financing proposals for the much-needed improvements for its aging facilities. These improvements including replacing the main generator, a renovation project that would include replacing the siding, the windows, adding new insulation to make the facility more efficient. The project could also include replacing the balconies of 35 of their rooms and a new deck for the pool area. So they need
official action to pursue
approve that.
funding. Do we have a motion to approve the request from Fortune Bay to finance generator, windows, energy efficiency, insulation, renovation of balconies and patio? Did I forget anything?
Siding?
Siding.
Move.
Moved by Chief. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trav. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Silent? Motion carried.
Last, we have
I'd just like to
Sidra.
add a comment on that, with that project, and I'm all for it. But my concern is that, once they start tearing off the siding and stuff, and they find stuff that's
Yeah.
wrong, that's gonna increase, what they need to fix.
Yep.
Because there is gonna be underlying problems with that's common sense. And if it's whatever it is, it's the cost is gonna be more. And I know they're gonna come back to the tribe and ask for more. That's one of my concerns.
Yeah, and that, Shane brings up a good point, because I know that there's been a lot of water leakage, and then also, you never know what's underneath once you start digging into a project, as Andy, I'm sure, can attest with any project. Sometimes I know, like Joel mentioned, the ledge rock. We say we're gonna do, the Tax Credit 3 project was actually a good example where we ran into ledge rock where it wasn't anticipated that there would be ledge rock there. So, and I know that Fortune Bay is seeking financing from Northern State Bank from Aurora? So,
Is that the one with, that Bill guy?
Bill Spang, yes.
Yep, okay.
Yes, so they would probably, if the project went over due to unforeseen circumstances, I would assume that they would go back and come back to us first and then go back for some additional financing, if that happens.
And hopefully we'll be able to get a breakdown of the expense, everything that's spent out for what it's spent out on. I would like to see that as well.
Okay, good. Thank you, Shane.
Okay, next we have Sidra with the request for the hot water heater or dishwasher.
Good morning, Sidra.
Good morning. So this morning I am requesting a sole source purchase of a dishwasher, a new Hobart high temp dishwasher for the ENP under the ICDBG project. I had initially was going to purchase a refurbished dishwasher, and after looking at our budget, it turned out that we had enough left over because things have kind of come in, we're working under budget right now.
Good.
And we certainly don't want to return any money to HUD.
No,
So,
no, we won't spend it.
made the decision to go ahead and purchase a new one instead. This one then comes in over $3,000, so I do need your approval to
Okay.
purchase that. So we did purchase the new range under this A to Z restaurant supply. So I'd like to just go ahead and purchase the
Same-
dishwasher
with
from
the
the
same
same place.
company?
Yep, we've gotten great service from them. It's well within the budget. Like I said, we've got plenty of money in the budget for this, so.
Okay. And I know that that's getting very close to being completed.
It is.
The ENP project, so they need it like as soon as possible.
Yep, it'd probably be after the first of the year with the holidays and that coming up. And now I've got to order the new dishwasher. But yeah, it's getting very, very close.
Okay,
Very close.
good. Nice to hear a project is under budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we want to
Now,
spend
now we
much
have to
money.
find little things to spend it on so that
Yeah,
we don't
that's
return
good,
anything.
though. That's
Mhm.
the way
It's a
we
good problem to
should be.
have.
Well, that's a very expensive dishwasher.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it has to be,
Has to be a commercial
a
dishwasher.
commercial dishwasher approved for commercial, commercial use.
Okay.
The amount is $4,120, just
Yep.
for the audience's knowledge, but the facility is inspected by IHS annually, and there are certain requirements that have to be met with, especially with elder feeding, any type of restaurant-type services that are providing food to outside people.
That's correct, yep.
But that is an expensive dishwasher.
It is, yep. And I did call around to a few other places just to make sure, you know,
It was,
that it was
competitive?
absolutely,
Okay.
yep. In fact, it was the lowest one that came
Oh.
in. Mhm. And this does include the freight and delivery,
Oh, wonderful.
which is about $275.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve the sole source request for the Hobart High Temp Dishwasher for the E&P under the ICDBG renovation project in the amount of $4,120 with AZ Restaurant Supply.
Move.
Moved by Travis, seconded by Dave. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried.
Miigwech.
Thank you, Sidra. Order
Nothing
that
else?
right away.
Nothing else on the agenda?
Oh. Motion to adjourn. Moved by Dave, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Shane, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, silent, motion carried. On behalf of the Tribal Council, I'd like to wish everybody a happy holidays and happy New Year, and everybody have a good, safe holiday season. Miigwech.
Happy holidays to our band members that are watching out there, and to
Yes.
everybody else. Happy holidays, safe holidays.
Thank you all.
Do we have enough help for tomorrow?
I do not know.